Part 4. If she's always not home, previous parts are down in the comments. And we got really drunk last night. She was asleep in the cab on the way home. And after a while, it was quite fun. In our denial, we laughed a lot. Regardless of the situation, we both needed that at some level, even if it wasn't the right time or justified in any way. She has said she won't do counseling, and I don't like the idea of it either. But we are at that point right now. She's sleeping on the couch, and I'm out back listening to the ball game. 180 time is now, huh? So she said she would love to go camping in the next few days. She has also brought up taking a trip and has been talking about the future in terms of plans. I know I'm not supposed to have any planned dates on 180. So do I tell her flat out no, or just vaguely respond in a way that makes things like that not come to fruition? We have always loved to party together since day one, and no, of course not every day. But since the 10-week trip, I've been in mega health mode, and we hadn't done that in forever. Right time? Nope. Right motivation? Nope. Smart considering my goal last night? Nope. Did we have fun together for the first time in a long time? Yep. So it is what it is. Probably didn't do me any good, and I did mention I felt like a dumb boy this morning. I could just post what would make me look good, but that would make the resulting advice have less value for my actual situation. They won't give out info of who stayed where and when at hotels, especially in Vegas. I can check her credit card statements, but I may have to wait a few weeks for them to show. If she paid for it out of her business checking account, I'd need her password to log in. I've tried. She did tell me after she got back where she stayed. I suppose I could try assuming she actually stayed there. She just left yesterday. I could ask for my wife's room number. They say they have no one by that name. I could say, oh, did she check out yesterday? I might get lucky with the right person, but I think it's illegal for them to give out that info. I can get to the laptop either while she's showering or sleeping. I want to put something on there. Any suggestions? It's a Mac. Something that isn't detectable. Her phone is glued to her even when she goes to the bathroom. It has a passcode on it for work, so random people don't mess with it. She says they prank each other, and people finally started locking their phones. I have almost seen the code as she's typed it in a few times, but without it, all I can find about getting into a locked phone gets me only to the use of the phone, contacts, and call records. I would need texts and pictures, or I'd have nothing. I need to watch closer and get that code, or I should just forget about all this mess, light fire to the house next time she leaves, change my name, and move to Mexico. That's how random and confused I feel at the moment. I realize how incredibly powerless I am at the moment. All I have is divorce, which I don't want. I know I've lost a lot these last few months. A few months have passed, and all I have been doing since then is researching, introspecting, improving myself, communicating directly, and trying everything I can think of to not make the situation worse. I am fully aware that last night was going great, and then I ended up sharing too much information, giving her the opportunity to counter and neutralize it. It's like telling someone to just put a bullet in your head. But in some ways we all do that anyways, right? Holy ducking hell, come on. In the last hour, she has put a password on her computer, and I have to address this. And quickly, because it will put me right back on the edge of walking away. Can I really have this conversation 2 days in a row? I know I sound weak right now, and I feel weak. I am also extremely angry, and I can't hide that and pretend to be nice. I need to confront her again, because this time I have to stand my ground, as I know she won't budge since I backed down last night. The easiest way would be to say, after everything we talked about last night about needing to be able to trust you, now you lock your computer. That, if you're playing games with me, stop it now. All passcodes are gone. But she says no. I have to leave again. Please tell me I can do it this time. I am just not used to her using her strength against me. I have always found it impressive, worthy of respect, and even sexy. But now she has turned her power on me, and it's blowing my mind. I am a strong guy. Ask anyone I work with, or any of my friends. But when it comes to her, I gave her my power when I gave her my heart. I know it was wrong, but I am just realizing that this is the way it is. All along, I thought I was in charge, But when push came to shove, I have proven that I truly am not. I am sure none of you expected the situations that presented themselves to you, whatever they may have been, for the first time in a long time. I feel betrayed and unloved. It's been almost 8 years, almost a third of my life with this girl. Whether I did something to cause or enable this, I never thought I would be where I am right now. I felt so strong last week while preparing myself. Suddenly I am questioning myself and what I can bring to the table. I know that someday everything will be okay. But the truth is, I am in utter disbelief that I even have to deal with this. I don't deserve this. Sure, there are plenty of little things I wish I could change. Lack of action here, lack of self-improvement there, complacency, and just plain giving myself over to the comfort zone. But I certainly did not give myself to her. The words she used to say were enough for me, because her actions were there too. But now the words say the same thing, but the actions are so foreign. Maybe she felt the same way about me at some point, but certainly not in this way. Not in a way that takes everything important and crumples it, and puts it in the wastebasket, in plain sight. As strong as I have always thought I was, I am now sitting alone in my backyard, dreading any conversation with the one person with whom it always came so easily. And the Twins suck, so I can't even enjoy the game on the radio. To those who throw punches at me now, I'd ask why you're here. Because all is well and happy. Can't always do everything the way we want to on paper. I will prevail here. But if it takes me a couple rounds in the ring, what's the difference? This is my life. I haven't had to think about it in such stark terms for a long time. If that makes me different from anyone here, I respectfully call bullcrap. I would have loved to have given everyone a strong ending on the first try. Both my phone and computer are locked, so I can't get in. My plan is to casually grab her closed laptop while she's there, as if I want to use it for something. It's sitting on the end table in the living room, closed. When I see that it's locked, our conversation can begin. I haven't moved anything. The panties were dropped off at the lab today. There is a VAR installed under the front seat of the car. And I have another one that I'm gonna put behind the radiator in her office momentarily. I've also grabbed her backup external drive, which was last backed up on 8-9. I haven't found the mobile sync folder yet though. There are backups from the last year on this thing. I'm copying it to my machine so I can work on it as time permits. She's out for the next few hours, so it's time to act. I found the mobile sync folder and there's gotta be something here. You were all right, and so was I. There are tons of really bad stuff in these deleted texts. Back and forth. I can't even type it here. There's no talk of actually having done anything, but she has lied to me for the last time. She said there was never anything inappropriate besides the videos he sent. This is out of hand. I'll be gone when she gets back tonight. There's no way around that. I don't need evidence of a physical affair to leave. This is sick. There's a lot of bad stuff that I can't post here. There's also stuff about leaving my husband. She can't talk her way out of what I've seen. I asked her point blank several times if anything ever got inappropriate. She denied and laughed, denied and laughed, denied and laughed while looking me right in the eye. She can't claim anything innocent about that. She has the car right now. When she gets back, I'll have what I need packed again, and easily accessible in the garage behind some stuff. Then I'll drop the papers on the table and tell her I'm done being lied to. I have proof, and I'm leaving. Or maybe I'll just print a few of the texts to put with the divorce papers and call it good. Her birthday is in 2 days. Any thoughts on a gift? I can't confront her about this right now. So I either have to leave quietly when she gets back with my car. We just sold hers 2 weeks ago. In a couple of hours, I'll drop the papers on the table when she's not looking and slip out. Or I have to keep my mouth shut for a day or two, and get myself more situated. I'm not worried about living in a hotel for a few days. By the end of the month, I should be able to find a sublet for a month somewhere across town. Pretty easily. In the meantime, maybe I can still try to unlock her laptop if she does. I'll grab any backups that are more current than what I have, which caps out at 2 weeks ago, and then leave on Saturday, her birthday. If she doesn't unlock it, I can just play dumb a little while longer. and surprise the crap out of her. Lying to my face, right into my eyes, one of the texts was talking about leaving me in a casual, joking way. She's got her plans in place. She will be so screwed financially and she has to keep up the house. And her next job isn't until October at the moment. I have work to get done by the end of the day tomorrow anyway, so I think keeping this under wraps for a day or two is sounding better every second. That way I can get my gear out, drop her off for a 2-hour massage on the settee for her birthday, and not pick her up when it's done. I can be gone and figure the cost of the massage would be worth the impact. Sure, I'll come up with 10,000 ways to do this. Now that I have so much more to work with. The paternity test may not come back for 5 days, but at least it's a real lab that will yield hard-printed results. VR may give me more. I'm going to chill, look for something hardcore solid in the texts, and plan my exit quickly. I can't let her do it first. I'm guessing she's thinking weeks or months on her end, but since I mentioned Dee the other day, maybe she'll speed up her plans for her exit. All the while, she's trying to plan a trip to Cozumel with me for September. Fat chance. I recovered texts from OM. I'll do whatever you want in Vegas. You'll have a good time again. You're too sexy not to. Another time, he's glad you're having fun, referring to a camping trip she got, and I took with another couple in early July. She's still guilt-ridden, but yes, having a good time and getting there. I don't deserve fun. Honestly, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's just sad. It's like she's just tired of me and has been talking to friends of ours about leaving since she got back from a 10-week trip. All that time, she didn't tell me one thing that was bothering her, even though I was always asking her to tell me why she's down. And then it goes straight to the rough stuff. She's been sending pics of herself to him and vice versa. Thank God I can't see them. This sucks. I should have just left on Tuesday. She came back and I said, hey. Then she laid down on the couch and looked all tired. So I said, I'm going out for a while. Looks like you're tired anyway. Be back later. Okay. She seemed a little suspicious, but whatever. I'm now at a restaurant, reading texts and meeting a buddy in an hour to hang and talk. You and my home thing are night and day, not related in any way. Also, there's plenty of talk about me, both referring to me as Stu, presuming from Family Guy. She really wants out. It feels like a race at this point. Apparently, everyone in my life has been aware that she wants to leave for at least a month, 2 months with some people. Ouch! I need to walk hard. I can't handle letting her pull the trigger. But crap, I laid it out for her on twos, and she denied everything and called my bluff. Then she backed down. So what the hell? It feels like a race to the finish, though. Also, there's talk of her wanting to meet him in his hometown. They're actually quite a cute couple. They talk like we used to when we first met. This girl is way gone. I can't fathom going home tonight and pretending all is well, but I have a deadline tomorrow and I need my gear to make it happen. So I have to go home tonight. She's always told me I don't hide my emotions well. Guessing I can't keep it under wraps for long. Might have to leave tomorrow at the end of the workday. I have hired a PI to get OM's wife's cell and hopefully email. He couldn't guarantee it, but hopes to have it by the end of the day tomorrow. How does one word this kind of thing to the OM's wife? I don't want to hurt her, but she needs to know. If she or someone had warned me of this a few months ago, I would have been in the driver's seat this whole time. From the texts, it seems they are already in different bedrooms, so she may just say, yeah, he's been doing this for years. Either way, he deserves a massive pile of crap in his life right now. Still going through texts, she thinks I'm working. I'm not. I've called my client and dropped off today's gig for personal reasons. They totally understood. Meeting with a therapist in an hour. I have to find a way out without a big confrontation. She's just sitting on the couch and has no plans all day. I saw texts about meeting with our banker to go over accounts in case things get messy. From about a month ago. Well, I hope she put something in those new accounts, because, like it or not, things are about to get messy. I have no interest in reconciling now. It's hard to say, but I think I actually believe it now. Still working through texts, pretending to work the rest of the day. She now has a meeting at 4:30 across town for a new job. She would be working at home, but not that it matters anymore. The point is, I now have time to pack, hide my stuff in the garage or something, print out a short list of choice texts, write a note, grab the papers, and be ready to leave. She will have the car, so I have no option but to wait until she gets home. When she's inside, I'll go out and pack the car in the garage. Then I'll come back in, grab the papers, note text list, go set it down in front of her and say, I have to leave now. And then try to just walk out and go, while she figures out what it all means. When she comes after me, assuming she does, even if it's just to yell or whatever, I'll just say, I'll give you a call in maybe a week. We can talk then, and then I'm out. I don't know if I'll talk to her in a week. I don't care right now. Then tomorrow it's off to the bank, safe deposit box, and hopefully I'll have the OMW contact info by then and can start that rolling. She's leaving in about 10 minutes. It's on. I can't wait another day. All set, stuff hidden in the garage, notes ready to go. Not sure why I'm posting this note here, but it feels right. My love, I did everything I could to give you a chance to tell me your side of things and try to restore my faith in you and in us. You responded with denial, lies, and secrecy. With that hanging over our marriage, there is no hope. Clearly, you are no longer happy being married to me. Go be single and enjoy life. I'll be back for my things eventually, including my dog. I regret that we have come to this. You meant the world to me. Underneath, that will be a list of texts that tells the whole story. The papers, when she gets back, I'll go out to the garage and pack the car really quickly, come back in, take a deep breath, put the papers on the table when she's in the other room, and walk out of the house. Then get in the car and get the hell out of here. I don't know, she came home about an hour and a half ago. She wanted to go to the horse track, but I told her I was feeling a little sick to my stomach. I didn't really feel like going, but then I looked in the fridge and saw we needed some stuff. I said I'd run to the store though. Then I went out to the garage and packed all my stuff in the car and went to the store. While there, she texted me saying, "Can you just park out front? My girlfriend and I are going to meet for a drink." So I rushed to the hotel, checked in, unloaded all my stuff, and then went back home. Now she's out for another 2 hours or so. Since everything's already out of the house, when she comes back, I'll just drop the package on the table and walk out the back door. Slight curveball, same plan. In a couple of hours I'll be posting done. I'm ready. No confrontation, no chance to screw up, and I will not be caving, guys. After what I read last night and today, I can hardly stand to make small talk and sit in the same room with her. It's time for her to have a life-changing moment just like I did. Because while I'm embarrassed that my wife was flaunting her disrespect for me so callously, she's apparently made out with work friends and their girlfriends while out with the gang in the last month, according to her texts. She's publicly making me the bad guy without my knowledge. She will be embarrassed, guilty, angry, shocked, scared, and sad for herself. And everyone will know that I just packed up and left her with her lies. VR fixed in her office behind the radiator, ready to rock. She'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm sitting out back, waiting for her to pull up. I'm prepared and I feel powerful, the element of surprise. And there goes the dynamite. I'm out. She went into the bathroom, I planted the package and bolted. Stewie's left the building. My legs are shaking, but I'm gone. I'm at the hotel, getting situated. It's been half an hour. She just texted me, broke into Skype. Clever. I knew she was using Skype on her phone, and we had used it on our laptops in the past year. But I thought what I found was just backup logs of texts and picture messages. Clearly it's all stored in the same folder. She doesn't know any better either. Then again, the phone just rang in my room here. I called the front desk afterwards and asked if they had called. They said no. And I confirmed that there's a request for no information to be given out and no calls to be put through. Hopefully it was a mistake. She's not that tech savvy, right? I checked under the seats for anything obvious. Where does one plant a GPS tracker and what might it look like? I turned off Google Latitude on my phone the other day, so there should be no way to track me by my phone except by court order. I hope it's just a wrong number. I hope she doesn't sleep much tonight. I haven't for 2 months, but I have to say, I think I'll do fine tonight. I can't guarantee it. But what I feel right now is somewhere in the area of power. Satisfaction. I would hope VR would take care of this. She would tell OM what she was doing, or you would hear clearly that she was alone, and there was lots of pounding noise, and she was probably crying afterward. Jesus, would she really do that? If she called the cops tonight, I have clearly checked into a hotel and have been seen at the counter and ordered room service that was delivered about 10 minutes ago. If she is truly vile and vindictive over the next week, or however long before I go back, I may have a cop hang out while I move the rest of my stuff. Pi called me this afternoon with 2 cell numbers registered to OMW. I called them. She answered, guessing one is personal and the other is for work. I have to figure out a game plan there. The backup log I have is from 2 weeks ago, the night before she left for the last 1-week gig and 1 week before Vegas. They were constantly referring to Vegas for a few weeks, as if it would be the mecca of carnal love for the two of them. Everything was going to be alright in Vegas, and they would both finally be satisfied. But they were clearly mutually pleasuring themselves via video chat for weeks prior. In my head, it plays out no better than a physical weekend in Vegas. Worse, actually, because some of this was while she was home and was denying me because she wasn't in the mood or just not feeling physical these days, about me or anybody. So now people can really understand why I had no problem executing the plan tonight. Crap, she beat me to the Facebook and friend, and it's after midnight now, folks. The gratuitous happy birthday messages on Facebook will begin for her for the next day or two. I do dearly love her parents, and they've always been awesome. They're the type who take the blame of the world on themselves. So there's no need to hurt them with this information. I don't want to make a big family stir, though I would like to say goodbye to them. I'll have to think about that one. Good morning, everyone. I slept pretty well, and I'm feeling okay. My first order of business was to read the list of texts that I left her last night, in order to remind myself why I'm doing this. My next order will be hitting the gym at the hotel. I just called the police and asked some questions about my situation. They said that basically there's no precedent to file a report of any kind if there has been no incident. If she were to start making a scene or make allegations about me, then they would investigate it. And the fact that I have witnesses of my whereabouts and proof of when I left the house, they would likely consider her story to be false if there was nothing to prove it. I said, well, it's just that I've been warned by some friends that she can turn the law against me pretty easily if she wants to be vindictive. And I have no idea what to expect from her right now, as she's been a totally different person lately. The officer told me that he's actually going through something similar right now, so he understood where I was coming from. He took my name down and said to call if there were any developments they should be aware of. Other than that, he said to bring a witness when I go back to get my things, and having a VAR in my pocket is completely justifiable and legal. Though he suggested that I walk in and start by telling her everything is being recorded right now. I'm just here to get my things. I asked about the car. He said it's technically our car, no matter whose name it's under. I talked to her parents this morning, and it was really hard because they're such great people. I was respectful and left out details. I just gave them a broad overview of what happened, that there was a breach of trust, and that I had given her numerous chances to tell me her side and be honest with me. However, she continually refused. I also mentioned that she refused marriage counseling. They knew we were having trouble in general, but they didn't necessarily know about the other man involved. They expressed how sorry they are and how much I mean to them. They also acknowledged that I have always taken care of their daughter. They were saddened by her actions. We said our goodbyes and exchanged I love yous. It was a difficult conversation, but I'm glad I did it. After that, I called my parents and repeated the same process. The conversation was longer, though. I also called a few select friends, and some of them had already been tipped off by the other side. I did my best to be respectful and not give too many details. Overall, it went well, and I have a few offers for places to stay and any other support I may need. It's good to know that I have people who care about me. I also went to the bank and closed our joint savings account. I'm just a guy trying to process all of this information during a crazy time. I'm doing my best to follow the advice that was given to me. If I had gone through this alone, I would probably still be wondering what went wrong in my marriage and what I could have done differently. However, now that I know the truth, I can move forward. Thank you all for giving me a clear perspective on my situation. Ultimately, you were right. She was doing the things I feared, even though it took me a while to find proof. I still have a long way to go, but I will keep you posted on how things develop. I received a new text from her this morning, but it doesn't change anything. Nothing ever ended up happening. It was all just a bad fantasy. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. It's disgusting. She followed up with saying that she will get a lawyer as soon as she can afford it. The texts were enough for me to leave, even if they never physically consummated their relationship. In my mind, it's almost worse because they had frequent planned dates and video chats, which created an emotional attachment over time. A drunken one-night stand would have been horrible, but at least it wouldn't have had an emotional connection. She allowed the life in our marriage to be transferred to another man. It would have been stronger evidence if the panties came back positive, but I'm not relying on that to make my decision. I already did what I needed to do based on the evidence I have. I agree that the texts are not an apology at all. She simply said sorry, but didn't follow it up with any acknowledgement of her actions. I'm having a rough day, but I'm staying strong. I have nothing to go back to with her, so that makes it easier. The fact that her parents know the truth will affect her more than anything I could ever say. She's very close with them, and their opinion means the world to her. Her dad is in the ministry. He's extremely humble and tolerant of errant ways in the world, and I'm sure he'll tell her they love her no matter what. And that will hurt her deep down more than anything. The guilt of having them know what she did and then forgiving her. I will ask my attorney to file tomorrow. The timetable will be on my terms, and her statement is true. She'll get one when she can afford it, but she'll find a way to afford it when she has to, because the clock will be ticking. Hope that doesn't sound vindictive, but where I'm at, I don't really feel like playing any games anymore. I threw down the gauntlet, the duel is on my terms. I also see that hundreds of pictures and videos were sent back and forth between them. And much of the text alludes to not having consummated physically yet. As of about 2 weeks ago, either way, I only gave her about 20 choice quotes from their texts. It took me almost 2 days to get through just the first log file, and I left out nearly endless shocking material that didn't advance the story on my list. The rest tells a full story of their fall into infatuation, then clearly we're regularly communicating. Most likely daily on the road, video chatting and getting off to each other, watching the same things together, then starting to regularly say they love each other, and constantly sending pictures of themselves and making plans for meeting up on layovers and, of course, in Vegas. They also argued, broke up, and got back together at least 2 times, then renewed plans for meeting up in the near future. And I doubt she was able to check my list against her old texts. I guarantee they had been deleted from her phone regularly, unless she takes the time to figure out how to find them on her backup drive, as I did. She has more to worry about, I presume. Maybe in 5 years, when her next marriage falls apart, and she finally goes to therapy to figure out what's wrong with her relationships. She's always had an uncanny ability to be purposely cold to people that fall out of her favor. I always saw it from her side, clearly. Now, I see what it feels like to have her turn that cannon on me. But she's seeing a side of me she never thought was there. And I'm glad to provide her a worthy adversary. Well, she has started to reach out to friends, to feel them out, as to who knows what who her friends are, and push her side of the story. Just got a call from my buddy, the one that I first confided in 2 weeks ago, to say she had just texted him. Get this, is he okay? He shouldn't have looked at those. My friend texts back, I had previously asked him to stay neutral if when she contacted him. Always loved you guys, sorry to hear about this. He shouldn't have looked at that crap. OP told me some of what you guys are dealing with. Sorry, so she is seriously not accepting any responsibility for this. Instead of he shouldn't have looked at those, how about I shouldn't have done that? Not owning a shred of the situation, previously unbelievable. Unfortunately now par for the course. I hope some of my other friends show me the same courtesy of letting me know what's being said. But I won't be calling them to find out. Certainly don't want to put out a vibe of giving a crap, but I'll take the information if it comes. As far as pitying her goes, I'm getting there, trust me. Yes, these communications today have been one-sided. I have not sent her a single message since I walked out the back door on Friday. It seems to have affected me a bit, but mainly because I've been waiting for her response. The concept of going dark has been difficult for me, as it goes against my normal character. However, it's becoming easier. What's so crazy is that she's being so predictable right now. I just played the hardest play in the book, and she's still blaming me for snooping instead of owning up to what she did. I'm curious to see how she's responding after no contact for a week. Her parents have consistently and unconditionally forgiven her for many childhood indiscretions, mainly wild child behavior such as stealing, vandalism, crashing the family car while underage, and dropping out of school at 16. However, she has just crossed the line in her marriage, and that will undoubtedly take its toll on her. I'm sure her parents will support her no matter what, but my conversation with her father yesterday showed him being apologetic and empathetic towards me, knowing that his daughter behaved poorly. He didn't question my words at all. While I appreciate her apology, it won't be enough for me in this situation. It would be a good start in letting her go, but the truth is I've already started letting her go weeks ago when she lied to me about something so significant. Vegas. She even indicated that she was okay with it. My comment, stay strong OP, it's gonna get ugly. Part 5 will be released today, just a few hours after this video. Push the bell button and it will notify you when it's uploaded. I will now return to working on that video.